Welcome, 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 welcome. Maita Jakanaka, welcome, Mahuya. I actually wish I could sing, but I can't sing. What other things do I wish I could do? I wish I could dance as well, but I can't dance. But I'm always singing and dancing. I'm always singing and dancing on a daily basis. It's actually weird, even. Welcome to my house. Welcome to my DIY wallpaper that I made using newspaper because I thought it would be cute. Comment down below and tell me what you think. Anyway, hi, what's up and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Fadzi. If it is your first time on this channel, hello. I'm Fadzi. I talk too much. I'm amazing. I'm fun. I am pretty and I have a bald head. If you're a returning viewer, if you're a returning subscriber, hi, what's up and welcome. Thank you so much for coming back. I truly do absolutely appreciate you, and I hope you enjoy the content that I put out on today's video. Please forgive my throat. I have a dying flu. Yeah, I have a dying flu. I am so grateful for the fact that with the flu bug that's actually really going on, I could have a really terrible flu, but my flu didn't get to like the pits. It's been there, it's been there, but the Holy Spirit, baby, the Holy Spirit has been taking good care of me. Anyway, so today I'm here to do like a story time of how I ended up staying by myself. A lot of people have actually been telling me, hey, I wish I stayed by myself as well. I wish I lived alone and chi. I'm going to share with you guys how I managed. Well, I didn't manage to convince my mom, but how my mom actually did give me the blessing to staying alone by myself in her crazy. Anyway, today was a good day. I'm excited. So this is what happened. Initially, when I finished my undergrad, right, in 2018, I remember when we were driving back home, I honestly felt like, I'm not supposed to be going home. I'm supposed to be going to my own place. And that desire and feeling was coming from a space where I'd been staying in res, and at some point I actually rented. So for me, it felt a bit unnatural to be going back to my mother's house, right? So it's just a feeling that just came onto me and said, child, you should actually look for your own place. That was in 2018, but I couldn't because I didn't have a job, because there's no way my mom would have let me move out, and there's no way my brother would have let me move out, and there's no way my dad would have let me move out. So eventually what happened was I went back home, stayed home for quite a bit, and then I got my first job at Telesol. So when I got my first job at Telesol, I was working in the call center department. So when I was working in the call center department, so now what usually happens when you're working in call center, they have like what you call them? It's not duties, it's not role. They have like a schedule. I forgot the name. So they have like a schedule, right, as to shifts, right? They have shifts to say Panama and morning shift, some work afternoon shift, some work evening shift. And because I was a call center attaché, I was doing both shifts, the morning shifts and the evening shifts. But it was like a weekly changeable thing, right? So when I got there, when I signed the contract, I specifically knew that there are times that I'm going to have to be working at night. And because Kumbakwedu is in Norton, the HR told me that we can't take you to Norton because fuel is actually really bad. So we kind of need you to move to a closer location where we can be able to drop you off at night when you finish your night shift. Me, I was like, okay, great, that's fine. This is a chance for me to actually talk to my mom into moving out. That was in 2019. So I signed the contract, I get the job, everything is great. I do my first training weeks, I think about 3 weeks. So in those training weeks, I'm working normal hours because it's training. My mom was okay with that, but in my mind I was somehow actively preparing myself to move out, because I eventually thought, could at some point she's gonna give in because I can't be working late. I was wrong. The woman did not give in. So I remember we were having arguments about it, where she was consistently saying, no, you can't move out. Whenever you're working night shift in the week, or in the 2 weeks that you're working night shift, you're going to be staying at Ningi's house. And me, being the extrovert that I am, and being the particular child that I am, I don't like staying in people's houses, because for me I feel a bit restricted, less than I am myself, or more than I am myself. So I can't just get there and scream. I can't just get there and get the stuff that I want, because there's that feeling of, yes, I'm home, but I'm still not home. You know, you never know what people are assuming. It's a different situation altogether as compared to when you are actually in your mother's house. Totally two different things. So my mom was consistently saying, hey, you will go and stay at Ningi's house when you're having your night shifts and what. And I remember at that particular time, there was a time when we spent an entire week without talking to each other. We just see each other in the corridor and I'm like, what's good? And she'd be like, what's good? And that's it, right? Because I was so mad at the fact that she wouldn't let me move out, and she was so mad at the fact that I didn't want to go stay where she wanted me to go and stay. So we had that friction to such an extent that it was so bad, she had to call this one person that she knew I'd listen to and tell them, hey, tell this person that I need to come and see them, so that I talk to them, and probably they can talk to you, so that we understand each other. That's how bad it was. So luckily for me, or luckily for my mom, God answered her prayer. So what then happened was, when my training finished, right, call center, I was then changed departments. So instead of working night shifts, I then changed departments to a department that allowed me to work from 8 to 4:30, if not 5, right? So my mom's prayers were answered then, which is a good thing, I think, for both of us, because also at that time inflation was high. So I began seeing things from a perspective to say, okay, fine, imagine and then tenga grocery ndega, you know, things would be really bad. So my mom had God, my mom listens to God, it's fine, cool. 2019, I was still moving from Norton to Grenade Side to work every day, back and forth. And I remember it was so bad, the Equidama Zupko, right? I'll talk about that experience on another video entirely. So I then decided to leave my job 2020. I resigned from Telesol and worked at my first advertising agency job, which is honestly really a blessing, because I feel like in as much as I worked at that agency for 6 weeks, it set a really good foundation for me, because now even at the agencies that I'm working at, I'm like, guys, I've been through hell. This is actually okay. So I worked there. I used to work there from Norton, which was okay, but it was kind of weird, because now in the industry that I work in, going home at 5 is a blessing, right? So I would probably leave that place around 6 to 7, and transport was a bit weird during that time, so I'd end up getting home late around 9. And still, my mom wouldn't flinch. My mom was like, my mom still is actually rather the type that says, you only leave my house when you're getting married. So I worked at that job. I quit the job within 6 weeks. I went back to my mother's house. I was sleeping. Lockdown happened, blah 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 blah. Fast forward to just after lockdown. So just after lockdown, I then got another job at another advertising agency in Harare, right? So what was happening was, these guys, they could give me transport to work and from work, but because of fuel issues in Harare, they then said, we can't take you to Norton, so we kind of need you to move to Harare, right? And at this point, it was unavoidable, because I think my mom was then also realizing, Kitty, with the career that this girl wants to take, she really needs to move to Harare. And by then, my brother was still staying in Harare. So it was easier for my mom to then say, you can go and stay at your brother's house. Guy, literally, it's my brother. So the dynamics that I was running away from with staying with other people are different compared to staying in my brother's house, because literally we grew up together, so we kind of get each other, right? Cool. So I'm moving with my brother and his wife for I think about a month, and then after a month they then decide we're relocating to another city, and I'm like, so where does that leave me? And then my mom is like, okay, cool, Chi, you're going to stay with my sister, right? That's when I was staying by Baines, right? I'm pretty sure some of you guys saw those vlogs where I was staying Kuna Baines. I was staying with my guru. So at this point, I was really actually praying that, you know what, I need this woman to allow me to move out, because this nonsense of staying in people's houses wasn't really working well for me and for my mental health. So I stayed with my guru, I think, for a good 2 months, but the relationship wasn't really working so well together. So much that my mom then realized it, and then she just called me at some point and she's like, hey, I really think you should actually then look for your own place to stay, so that relationships can be well natured, and so that she can be in a better mental space and in a healthier space. So that's basically how it happened for me. Obviously it wasn't a case of just deciding to say, I'm moving out and my mom letting me. No, my mom is not that type. My sister is actually like 30 this year, but she's still staying with my mom, because my mom is like, no, you only leave my house when you're getting married. But the reason why I decided to share the story is because for me, it didn't just happen to say I want to move out. No, it was an issue of thoroughly praying and actually trusting God that eventually it'll happen. I wanted to move out in 2018, but I only managed to fully move out in 2021. And also, it was a process where I actually didn't tell the entire story, because there's church involved. Do I need to tell you guys about church? I'll tell you guys about church one day, some other time. Well, I'll explain to you how my mom is a pastor at a different church and I go to a different church, but we still love the Lord. I'll tell you guys about that story time at some other point. But what I'm driving at here is, it wasn't just a case of I just woke up and my mom just woke up and we had a conversation about it. It took a lot of fights. It took a lot of praying from both my mom and me, where I was praying to say, I want to move out. I need to move out. It's healthy for me to move out. And my mom was saying, God, Fadzi can't move out. Make her understand that she can't move out. Whilst I was saying, God, I know I need to move out and I know it's part of your purpose for my life. Make that woman understand that that I need to move out. So eventually she agreed, and now we're at a space where she literally tells me, why are you not looking for another place, because your place is a bit small? Chichi, like now it's one of those we cool kind of vibes. Like she even gets excited, I bought a new fridge and stuff like that. Do I see myself going back to my mother's house? No, I don't. But also, again, my mom, my dad and my brother have the audacity. They can literally just call me and say, hey, this nonsense of you staying alone ends now. Take your bags and come back home. They're literally those kind of parents. So that's basically how it happened. I wanted it for myself more than anything, and I actually am grateful for the fact that God gave it to me, because I also feel like it was part of his purpose for my life, because I'm the third child in my family and I was the last born for the longest. So I have this spoiled character traits that I actually have, and I noticed it myself. So me wanting to move out as well, it was more of I kind of need to move out so that I'm able to learn life and how to run a household, so that when I get married, I'm in a better position to be a wife. Look at me now. I'm buying an entire fridge with a water dispenser. But anyway, I don't know what you took from this video, but if anything, what I also want you to take away is, if you want something, or if you feel like something is meant to happen for you in your life, pray about it. Pray earnestly, and pray fervently for it. And also sometimes your purpose might actually, usually most of the times, your purpose is something that people are not really used to, or how your life is arranged by God is something that is out of the everyday normal society of the things that are supposed to happen. And in pursuing that, still remember to honor your parents. Because I remember when I was fighting with my mom, I think in 2019, one of my mentors said to me that, did I say one of my mentors? That's a lie. That's a lie. But one of the people that I look up to, actually, one of the people I look up to said to me, your mom is still your mom. Whether you guys agree, whether you guys don't agree, and you're still supposed to honor her. So the reason why I then said, okay, fine, I'm staying. Okay, fine, you want me to go and stay with your sister? I'm going to stay with your sister. You want me to go and stay with my brother? I'm going to stay with my brother. Was because I had to honor what she wanted. And in honoring what she wanted, I ended up getting what I wanted, which is this one room. So yeah, guys, that's basically how it happened for me. Comment down below and tell me your thoughts. Comment down below and share your experiences. And also, because now we are almost at 1K subscribers, comment down below and tell me what kind of content you'd like to see from this channel. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one.